So over the last decade, Real Madrid has won 5 European Cups, otherwise known as the Champions League. And the club is now known to modern football fans as, the mentality monsters, Champions League birthright honors, and all that stuff. And well-deserved, if I might add, well-deserved. They've had a remarkable run during the last decade, and it's admirable where the club is right now in terms of the Champions League, like having 14 European Cups, having twice as many European Cups as the second team, AC Milan. It wasn't always this way. It wasn't. One particular goal, in my opinion, changed the trajectory of Real Madrid forever.
Modric takes. It's a header from Sergio Ramos!
Now seeing that goal, you may think, a 9 minutes goal, who cares? But we have to go back in history to see the journey from how it was until that point in time. After losing to Monaco in the 03-04 season, Monaco, that was in the quarterfinals. For the next 6 seasons, Real Madrid could not get past the second round. They were able to qualify from the group stages, that was a given. However, making it past the second round was a lot of trouble. All that history seems like a foregone conclusion right now, but I have to remind a lot of Real Madrid fans, because from what I've been seeing online, a lot of Madrid fans are beginning to have some kind of entitlement towards the Champions League because of what has happened in the last decade. Between 2004 to 2010, before Jose Mourinho came to the club, it was real horror.
They have made history tonight.
El centro de Toneto, gol. Tadei acaba de ser definitivo. El 0-1 en el marcador en el estadio San. Golpea Panucci, punto de penalti, gol. Se acabó el partido, acabó la eliminatoria, se acabó todo este año en la Champions.
They rather lost it. Torres, it's come for Cow. It's Torres! Penalty to Liverpool. It's Gabriel Heinze who's conceded. Gerrard in the quarterfinals beckon yet again. Ramos is a good cross. Gerrard! Irresistible Liverpool. Tirano, and here's Desena, who scores his first goal for Liverpool tonight. An emphatic 5-0 aggregate win.
I think most Madrid fans that went through that would understand that the Champions League is not your birthright, and it's not really something that you should be expecting to win every season. And that is something that a lot of young Real Madrid fans cannot understand. Now, despite having broken transfer records for Cristiano Ronaldo, Kaká, and the rest of them, that was like a historic transfer window. Madrid was still knocked out in the second round one more time, and there was no other person to turn to than Jose Mourinho. When Mourinho came to Madrid, Madrid fans were like, oh, thank God, this is like the Messiah. I mean, and this is a very funny thing to say, because right now a lot of Madrid fans don't really understand the magnitude of what Mourinho did for this club. A lot of people don't know. Like a lot of Madrid fans, every time I mention Jose Mourinho where they're almost like putting the guy down or something. Like, that guy is very instrumental to Madrid. In the history of Madrid, is very, very instrumental. At the point he came, the self-esteem was short. They didn't have any belief in themselves. All these mentality monsters that you are seeing was not there. Every kind of, where you see teams having bad luck, like what Man City is going through in the Champions League right now. Madrid were going through that for like 6 to 7 seasons straight. When he came, the first season, Madrid showed a lot of improvements. Won the Copa del Rey with Ronaldo's fantastic header. But the main thing was the Champions League at that point. The league, Barcelona were owning the league at that point. There was nothing that Madrid could do at that point in time. That Champions League, Madrid got to the semi-finals. And guess who they played in the semi-final? Barcelona. And this happened.
Pep is the boss. But here's Messi. Away from 2, 3, 4.
I can vividly remember that game in my brain right now. I was so infuriated, coupled with the fact that I really hated Messi during that period. I just could not help it. It was a very, 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 very annoying game. And as usual, Barcelona control the possession and all that stuff. And Madrid had a lot of chances in the counter, that they could have done one or two things. But that period, you have to understand, the mentality was very low. It was very, very low. Now that Madrid seems like this team that don't miss chances against big teams, that period they were missing chances against big teams. Like, it was almost like there was some kind of fear, Yeah, so things weren't that good compared to now. Then came the second season when Real Madrid finally took the league from Barcelona after Barcelona won 3 straight league titles. And Madrid had to basically break all the records in La Liga history to win that league. To show you how difficult things were at that point, they had to basically break all the records. And that season, Madrid were electric. They were playing a very, very sleek counter-attacking football. And it was looking like, okay, this could be the season that Madrid would finally break the jinx of the Champions League. Then came the semi-final against Bayern Munich, where everything went wrong in the penalty shootout. That was a very, very sad game. I think a lot of Madrid fans that watched that game at that point and understood what was going on understand that period, that game was very, very painful. Madrid played very, very well. They deserved to win, in my opinion. But, our penalty shootouts and the fact that players that were known to not miss penalties during that penalty shootout was really, 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 really sad. Now getting to the 2012-2013 season, everything was going as planned, and they were to play Borussia Dortmund in the semi-final. And at that point, Madrid were the favorites to win the game, to win that tie. And it wasn't as if now we can all sit down 2020 hindsight and say that Dortmund team was very, very great, But right at that point in time, people were not really looking at Dortmund, as they were great, but nobody was thinking that they would beat Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? They may have won their league that period under Jurgen Klopp and the Lewandowski and the rest, God say, but nobody was really thinking that they would win Madrid. Then, in one of the few times that Lewandowski has showed up against a top team in the Champions League knockout stages, he chose Madrid for that, scoring 4 goals in a game, and that was something else. That seemed like another sad season, and it seems like this La Decima, as Madrid fans called it at the time, which was the 10th Champions League, was never going to happen, at least in the near future. Jose Mourinho was sacked. Carlo Ancelotti was signed as Real Madrid manager. During that season, Madrid finally beat the jinx and got to the final, and everything was going very, very terribly. Atletico Madrid took the lead, and the game was getting to the end of it, and things were looking very, very bleak. It seemed like it was going to be another painful loss, because at that point Madrid were outplaying Atletico. Like the game was almost all of it was Madrid dominated the game all through. Though Atletico scored, but Madrid were dominating the game, and it seemed like it was going to be one of those games where Madrid deserved to win, but due to bad luck in the Champions League, they could not win. Then this happened.
Modric takes. It's a header from Sergio Ramos. Sensational finish. Sergio Ramos of the semi-final for Real Madrid scores a goal in the 93rd minute, which saves their skin in the final.
People don't seem to understand the magnitude of that goal. Seriously, they do not understand. That was basically the last kick of the game. Like, after that corner, the referee would have blown the whistle. That is how close it was until Madrid would have lost that game. And who knows how long it would have taken for them to win the Champions League again. Because at that point, the mentality was very low. The self-esteem was very low. Most fans were already giving up hope in terms of, like, are we even going to be able to win the Champions League anymore? It was getting really, really bad. But that goal changed everything. And in my opinion, these 4 subsequent Champions League that Madrid has won after that period would never have happened without that goal. Would never have happened. And a lot of people take it take it for granted. Obviously, Madrid went on, won the game 4-1 because Madrid dominated the game throughout. So at that point, Atletico were deflated after conceding such a late equalizer, and the extra time was all Madrid, and they deservedly charged them 4-1. Subsequently, Madrid now started creating more records, winning 3 straight Champions League titles. Despite the fact that nobody had won 2 straight Champions League titles until that point. Madrid went on to win 2 and won 3. And last season, of course, as we all know, they also won, making all those comebacks, creating all those miracles on the way to winning another Champions League when they were underdogs in almost all the ties that they played. So now everybody thinks that Madrid is like the mentality monsters of the Champions League and all that. And a lot of people are forgetting that it wasn't always like this. I just want to remind some. I think a lot of young Madrid fans, especially the ones that just started supporting the club during the last 5 years or so, a lot of them don't understand that this Champions League thing doesn't happen all the time. Before Madrid won in 1998, because they won in 1998, 2000 and 2002, before they won those 3 Champions Leagues, they had not won for close to 30 years. So if you look at Madrid's Champions League period, they won 5 straight in the beginning, went on a short drought, won 1, they went on a very, very, very long drought, they now won 3, they went on another, will I say short or long, any I want to look at, medium drought, they now won 5 in a decade. This is how it is. It's not an every year something. It is not. So this attitude from Madrid fans, where I see some of them saying that they don't really care about the league, that are above the league, that are in the Champions League. I mean, what the hell? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Like, personally, I am tired of winning the Champions League. I am. I know that sounds arrogant, but it's not coming from an arrogant perspective. I am just tired. Most teams have not won 5 Champions Leagues, and I have experienced it in my lifetime. I'm not even counting the ones I actually saw them win in 2002. I'm not even counting them because I was too young. I've experienced it while I am an adult. So I have a different mentality to this. I have won enough Champions Leagues for my lifetime. I would like the club to start taking the league and the Copa del Rey seriously. I know a lot of Madrid fans look down on the Copa del Rey, but I don't. You need to dominate your league if you want to believe that you are the best team from your country. You can't just be saying, oh, we just be winning only the Champions League and Spanish trophies, whatever. No. If you're not dominating your league and you're only winning the Champions League, you're not the best team in your country. In my opinion, you're not. So you can try to claim like you're the best team in the country where you're not winning your own league, where you're not dominating your own league. Dominating the Champions League is fine, it's great. But I think the league should be your bread and butter. Champions League comes along with it, fine. This is the reason why we'll never win the treble. Because I'm talking about the real treble, not all those treble that people add and put all those Super Cup and all that nonsense. I mean the real treble. This is the reason why we'll never win it. Because of this mentality of, because at the end of the day, if you want to win the treble, you have to take your league seriously. You have to take your cup competition seriously. That being said, as a Madrid fan, I'm very, very proud for our European Champions League heritage. I'm very, very proud of it. And I think without that goal by Sergio Ramos, things would have been really, really different. And this mentality that a lot of newer Madrid fans have towards the Champions League, like it's our birthright, will not be existing without this goal.